This week on the show, we are catching up with Arnab Roy, Vice President Marketing, Coca-Cola India and Southwest Asia, on their plans for summer and the cricketing season, Coke Studio Bharat, and how do they look at revival of Campa Cola. We caught up with Josh Kalmer, Head of Global Public Policy and Government Relations at Zoom, and Iravati Damle, Head of Government Relations India, who also spoke to us about their recent conversations with the authorities in the country and some of the best practices that could be replicated to transform India into a digitally empowered society. We have Sujata V. Kumar, Head Marketing India and South Asia, Visa, speaking about their recent campaign and marketing strategy going forward. Hello and welcome to Storyboard. I'm Shubhani Gharat. This week on the show, we are catching up with Arnab Roy, Vice President Marketing, Coca-Cola India and Southwest Asia, on their plans for the summer season and the cricketing season. He's also speaking with us about the new avatar for Coke Studio Bharat, and their plans to extend it to different languages and regions. Arnab is also sharing his thoughts on the revival of Campa Cola, and he has an interesting take on this. Let's take a look.
Arnab, welcome to CNBC TV 18.
Yeah, hi Shubhani, how are you? Always
Very
a pleasure.
Very well. Arnab, we are meeting at the onset of the summer season, one of the most important seasons for Coca-Cola. If you can share with us, what are the plans for the summer, and also cricketing season is on. So what are the plans over there?
Yeah, I think I'll just answer by starting that the summer season is important, but it's not just about summer anymore. I think if you've been seeing the quarterly numbers, every quarter is becoming very important for us. So that's actually a good sign. But having said that, I think over the next, I would say, 2 or 3 months, important. And we are investing in our key passion points for our sparkling brands. So that's going to, I would say, continue. We are obviously in the IPL quite heavily, partnering with Star Sports there. There's a lot of activation on the ground with assets like Coke Studio. There's a lot of activation around our brands, both Maaza and Minute Maid Pulpy Orange. So overall, I think it's going to be important.
Correct. But still, this is also the time when, companies and brands such as yours eye the South market very heavily. So what are the plans for the South market? Are you going to go all guns blazing?
I think South markets have always been important for us. They will continue, I would say, to be. We are going heavily, for example, in the state of Tamil Nadu, we have Coke Studio Tamil that's being activated. We have a partnership with the Chennai Super Kings, which is going to be very important. It's probably the first time we are doing a partnership with them. So that's going to be an important activation plan overall. Plus, as you are well aware, AP and Telangana are big markets for us. And there, I think we have, strong plans on our 2 main brands there, Thums Up and Sprite.
Yes. Arnab, last time we spoke, you mentioned how in the face of, global and inflationary headwinds, you are relooking at, reimagining your pack mix. So how has that worked for the brand so far, for the company so far? And, how have the events of the past 1 year made you reevaluate your marketing strategy now or even going forward?
First is affordable packs will continue to be very important. Because India is still a very price-conscious market, and affordable price points like the 10 rupee price point or the 20 rupee price point, that's going to be important. At a premium, I would say premium price point range, I think there you can do some good kind of pack mix interventions and ensure that your overall profit pool, I think, remains at a overall healthy level. So we are continuing that. I think you are very much aware. Last few quarters have been outstanding. They've been some of the best we've ever had in our history out here in India.
Yes.
And we are looking forward to it. I think there are other challenges that we have internally, which we are trying to overcome. But we continue to feel very bullish in spite of all the, I would say, global macro headwinds, which may come from the second half. But in India, I think we are still feeling more bullish.
And then there has been a news, of course, there is this news of Campa Cola revival. Do you, as a company, look at it as a threat? And how do you look at this whole revival?
This is actually one of the best things to happen, Shubhani.
It's the best things to happen.
It's the best thing because if you have more competition out here, the importance of the category, the excitement in the category, hopefully will actually go up. And India's per capita is so small that there is an opportunity for a lot of players. And overall, at the end of the day, I think we welcome competition. It is going to, I would say, keep us on our toes. And overall, the per capita of India in terms of sparkling consumption is hopefully going to go up. And that's actually good news for a lot of our good brands. So end of the day, it's important for us that we should not be distracted, ensure that our strategies are all in place. And at the end of the day, if your brand is healthy and if your brand is strong, there is enough room in India for everybody.
Okay, so are you suggesting that aerated cola as a category was stagnating? Was this excitement needed in the category?
No, it was not. In fact, the last few years have been very good. If you look at the aerated drinks, contrary to a lot of the perception that the media and marketing industry have, unfortunately, is that this is a stagnant category. You have the numbers. We have been one of the fastest growing subcategories in the overall FMCG space. But again, as I said, the penetration is still so low. It is very important for us to ensure that we have many players who can then, all of us, do the work to go and hopefully drive the habits and then improve the per capita, because at the end of the day, it will help all of us.
Got it. Arnab, in Feb 2023, you relaunched Coke Studio after a gap of 8 years. And you also rebranded it to Coke Studio Bharat. If you can share with us the thought behind bringing it back to the audience, and how has it worked for the brand so far?
Coke Studio had to come back in India. I think it is one of the most powerful assets that we own worldwide. Music is one of the most important passion points in our core target segment. So for me, it had to come back. It was a no-brainer. I think we needed to identify the right way, the right model to come back. We started off actually launching Coke Studio Bangla last year, and it was an experiment, and the results were very, very strong. It encouraged all of us to go and expand this further, and that's why we also launched Coke Studio Tamil, so the second regional Coke Studio, and also Coke Studio Bharat. The Bharat idea came actually from a conversation with our partners and a producer. We are working very closely with Ankur Tiwari. And the insight is very simple. If you see what has been happening, thanks to digital, in terms of music production in India, you have, the big names, but you have a lot of young kids who are coming in from small town India, and they're all very good. And it's interesting because even if you look at the Indian economy, Shibani, you'll probably agree with this, the growth of India is not going to come from the Bombays and Delhis of the world.
Correct.
The growth in India, whether it's economic growth or cultural growth, it's going to come from small town India, right? And that's where Bharat is at its core. That's where Bharat lives. And we thought it's very interesting out there, right? And so the whole idea is that most of our singers, almost all of them, are actually going to be from small towns or the B-tier cities. And we believe that the music that they will come is going to be appealing not just in India, but actually in the international stage.
And with Coke Studio Tamil, are you also thinking of taking it to more regions across the country as well to, launch regional specific Coke Studios?
India has got so much music diversity across every state that you can have a Coke Studio actually in every state. But the challenge is that where do you have the right infrastructure, where you are able to work out the right business model? And we were speaking to a lot of, I would say, different music producers. I think the Coke Studio, the Tamil thing happened for, I would say, multiple reasons, but also because of the Tamil music industry is very well advanced. And I thought there was a great opportunity out there.
We have stepped into the new financial year. What are the things that excite you in the months to come as a marketer?
If you were to invest any money in any country in the world over the next 12 to 15 months, or even at a longer frame, I think there is no economy as attractive as India. If you see all the metrics on whether it's basic economic growth, the reduction in poverty levels, improvement in the electrification numbers, all of these are very, very exciting. The amount of investment that's happening in infrastructure finally will impact all of us. So we feel extremely encouraged and bullish by the prospect of India. So that's from the macro side. From the consumer side, I think we will continue to see very, I would say, robust consumer spending from all the trends we are seeing. And across, again, most of our operating units, I think very clearly the indicators are probably the best in India. And the last piece is India is the fastest growing digital market in the world, not just in commercial, transactions kind of piece, but even from a content consumer engagement. If you see where the concept of marketing and the marketing model is going to change anywhere in the world, India is probably one of the best places to be in right now.
Thank you so much. All the best for that. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you, Shibani.
It is time for a short break. On the other side, we have Josh Kalmer, Head of Global Public Policy and Government Relations at Zoom, and Iravati Damle, Head of Government Relations India, on the work done towards making Zoom a safer platform, their recent conversations with the authorities in the country, and some of the best practices that could be replicated to transform India into a digitally empowered society.